It's the high school game of the week on 23 ABC, Friday Night Live. Brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, the biggest little credit union in town.
Welcome to Friday Night Live. I'm Casey Kiernan, week 0 edition. We're here at Shafter High School. We open up as they open up at Strathmore. Very emotional opening up to the season for Shafter. They honored fallen lineman Moses Chavira, who died suddenly in a car crash in December. Now the Generals, they opened up last season with a win, 6 of them in fact, but then followed it up with a 5-game losing streak, culminating in an 18-21 loss in the second round of the playoffs to Corcoran. Now the Generals' opponent Strathmore, they may seem like pushovers on the surface, but not so fast. They had a 6-6 season last year, one better than the Generals, and they made the Division 6 semifinals. So it was not going to be easy tonight. Let's go to the highlights. It was an emotional beginning to the game. Strathmore at Shafter. Signs everywhere for Moses Chavira, the fallen general. Coach Ricky Ishida presenting Moses' brother Eduardo with a framed and now retired jersey, number 79, before the game. On to the football now. It was a nervous beginning for Shafter. Carlos Lopez hands off to Ricky Madrigal, and he dives on in for the touchdown. Spartans take an early 7-0 lead. Strathmore put together a long drive of their own. There's Kyle Milwee faking the handoff and finding Gabriel Gabazuela in the corner for the touchdown, and we're tied. Second quarter now. Do you like offense? Well, here's another one through the air. This time it finds Tony Cruz. That's a pass interference flag, but it doesn't count. Strathmore making things pretty difficult. They take a 14-7 lead to halftime. Another lengthy injury delay, and the Generals have a long field to work with. But who better to work it than Alex Rodriguez? A-Rod breaking off a home run. Trots on into the end zone. Absolute track meet, and we're tied at 14s. 3 and out for the Spartans. And the Generals say, look, we've had enough of this. Toribio Lucas receiving the pass, I should say, breaking a tackle and goes on into the end zone. Shafter takes the touchdown lead. And they would keep the Spartans down to 14 points. 42-14, your final. What a great game to start with for Shafter, and a great game to start with for us on Friday Night Live. Well, when we come back, we will sit down with head coach Ricky Ishida, the opening game, the first win in his 3rd year of his alma mater. It's Friday Night Live from Shafter High. We'll be back.
His friend in the car rental business didn't expect this.
This says he rented a car, you put it on your card. He didn't pay and had an accident. He's an idiot.
Next, Judge Judy.
Monday at 3 on 23 ABC. Friday Night Live. Brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, the biggest little credit union in town.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great rivalries. Garces and
Tehachapi,
Centennial and
Liberty,
Highland and
Foothill,
North and South, West and
BHS.
And despite all these rivalries, there is one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Man is a determined creature with a boundless will to push, seek, transcend. It's what inspired our own evolution. Because if your quest is to build the world's smartest luxury SUV, you must hold yourself to the standard of mankind.
Meet the extremely new 2014 MDX at your local Acura dealer.
Are you suffering with health issues because of your weight? Do you struggle with obesity? Delano Regional Medical Center's bariatric program could be the answer. As a bariatric center of excellence, our weight loss program is the most experienced in the Central Valley and one of the highest rated in the country. The staff are specially trained to assist you with every aspect of this life-altering procedure. Call the Delano Regional Medical Center today and we'll help you decide if weight loss surgery is right for you.
right this minute, videos first.
His business is kayaking, and he's getting down to business. Tell me he's not going down that. See him go to work next, right this minute.
Monday at 11:30 on 23 ABC. Weather and traffic together every 10 minutes with Elena Rusk on 23 ABC News from 4:30 to 7.
23 ABC News. We cover Kern County's weather.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live. We're still here at Shafter live. It is definitely live. People driving by, yelling, waving. It's a pretty crazy scene out here right after Shafter's 42-14 win against Strathmore. Now we're joined by head coach Ricky Ishida. Coach, thanks for being with us. And first of all, can you tell me sort of a little bit about that emotional moment before the game when you were presenting Moses' shirt to Eduardo?
Well, first I'd like to thank you, Casey, and 20 Airline for allowing us to share our story about our brother Moses. And you know, I'm sure that our boys appreciate it, and the program appreciate it. Definitely the community appreciate it. I'm sure the parents appreciate it. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
You know, it's kind of hard to explain. You know, like I said before, death is kind of really tough to deal with, and you know, our boys have done a pretty good job of it. You know, we've tried to handle it the best we can, but you know, for the most part, our boys continue to honor him, and we kind of do everything in his name. We break our huddle, you know, Big Mo. So everything we try to do, we honor him, you know, because he loved the game of football. You know, and he obviously was a parent. You know, he came to practice with some energy and, you know, brought a different thing to the table. So we definitely try to honor him, and so, you know, our boys, we're pretty proud of our boys the way they handled it tonight.
And they definitely honored him with their play tonight. Can you talk to me a little bit about what did you see from your guys? I know that it started off a little hectic. Penalties were the name of the game for both sides. Can you tell me a little bit about the positives that you take away from today?
Well, definitely, it's a rocky start. You know, I don't miss the first game jitters or whatnot, but, you know, we finished. You know, and we've been stressed and finished. And, you know, our guys showed good character tonight, you know, not as a team, you know. So as coaches, we're going to go back on the drawing board and take that as a positive and build from that.
You said that the word this year is finish. I mean, we referenced that 5-game losing streak at the top of the show. Have you been able to, as a head coach, pinpoint what created that? And if so, what have you told your guys about not letting that type of thing slip up again?
You know, that's kind of a hard question for us to answer. I think, you know, if we continue to talk about it, it's going to maintain in the back of our heads, and we're going to lose focus on this season. You know, for us to dwell on the past, and obviously it's a big learning curve, but we need to make sure that we continue to focus on each game and not take each opponent for granted. We need to make sure that we go in there and play our game, or stick to our game plan and execute, and, you know, just have our guys play.
And so you say your next opponent, you're going up north to Porterville to face Granite Hills. What do you feel? You said you got some of those jitters out. Now it's the first road game. Are there going to be some first road game jitters? What do you think about next week?
You know, we certainly hope not, you know, but, you know, it's a game of football, it's a game of emotion, you know, has up and downs, but, you know, if we do, we just have to, you know, weather the storm and go from there like we did today, and just build from tonight, and carry it over to next week.
Real quick, if you were to give the game ball to somebody, or maybe a group of guys, who would the game ball go to in this opening week?
Oh, wow, tough question. There's a couple boys I can pin out. You know, Juan Verdugo, you know, middle backer, you know, had some very big hits tonight, led our defense. But also Richard Denosian, you know, played our free safety, was kind of our quarterback, you know, making some coverage calls, checked some different things. On offense, obviously Kyle Millie played well, Garrett played well. So, you know, I would give the group ball to those 4 guys.
Yeah, so. Awesome. All right, well, thanks for joining us today, Coach. Thanks for letting us into your program this past week and allowing us to tell your story, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, when we come back on Friday Night Live, Kevin Keys, the coach, will join the set. We'll take a look at some of the other scores around Kern County. We'll be back.
You're watching KERO 23 ABC in Bakersfield. Friday Night Live, brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, the biggest little credit union in town.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great rivalries.
Garces and
Tehachapi,
Centennial and
Liberty,
Highland and
Foothill,
North and South, West and
BHS.
And despite all these rivalries, there is one thing.
One thing
We can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Everyone, this is Brian, our exchange student. Brian got us a fabulous gift, high-speed internet.
Cool, Brian. Now we can download movies.
Come on, Brian, don't be shy. Dig in. Who wants seconds? Of course he does.
Exceed. Internet's so fast, it must be from outer space.
He got a little something.
What's happening? It's just AutoNation getting some more cars.
The savings continue at the AutoNation Model Year Clearance. Now through Labor Day only. Get 0 drive-off on every Chevy on the lot. Silverados, Malibus, and Equinox. Even the Cruze, $149 a month. 0 drive-off. All with a money-back guarantee. AutoNation! Save now through Labor Day at AutoNation Chevrolet.
Ask me what it's like to get your best night's sleep every night.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand. Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America. Buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress set and get a free twin Tempur Simplicity mattress. Find a store near you at TempurPedic.com.
Next live, it's a Labor Day beach party with Selena Gomez and Lisa Kudrow.
Catch! Monday at 9 on 23 ABC.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live. Still here at Strathmore High School. We're joined now by the coach, Kevin Keys. You may know him around town. We are live. About 10 kids have drove by and said, Coach Keys.
Friday Night
About
Live.
10 of them.
Yeah, you know, spent a lot of time out here in Shafter.
Yeah, you have. So thanks for lending us your expertise. And let's take a look at some of the other scores from around the county that will definitely make tomorrow's headlines. Let's first start in the South Sequoia League. Let's stay here. Bakersfield Christian High School 10, Huntington Beach 32. Huntington Beach, obviously, they have, I think, about 3 to 4 times the enrollment of the Eagles. And Wasco 63, Miramonte 6. So Wasco just absolutely starting with another barn burner to start the season. Let's go on to the Southwest Yosemite League. Bakersfield High School 50, Oaks Christian 51. How about that one, Coach?
What a great game that must have been.
Yeah.
Oh, packed house.
Down to the wire. Probably whoever had the final possession in that one. Frontier 42, Ridgeview 21. Many people said that was the game of the week, perhaps, for them. And that one, a little more lopsided maybe than people might have thought. St. Mary's 34, Stockdale 27. That one just going final. And in Coach Brian Nixon's opening game at Liberty, the Patriots 42 and Delano 6. Now, Coach, a lot of these scores that we just saw, to me, they represent head coaches who are scheduling very strong out-of-league schedules. What is the importance of starting off with a Huntington Beach or an Oaks Christian?
Well, you know what, you're absolutely right about this scheduling. You got to schedule the best if you want to be the best, and that's what they're doing. The athletic directors are looking out 2 years out, and they're looking what schools are open, and they want to get a ranking to get a possible run at the state championship.
Yeah.
So.
And Bakersfield High 50 to 51 probably isn't going to hurt them all that much, especially because they went on the road and got that score. Now let's take a look ahead to next week's Friday Night Live. We're going to be at South hosting Highland in week 1. That's the very first game for South. Highland, your alma mater, and Coach Wren of South. We're going to be talking a lot about him. That game will definitely be played in his honor. And you knew Coach Wren pretty well?
Coach Wren was an outstanding individual, one of those carrying adults that young people love to be around. Just a rebel for life, and the kids will honor him for as long as his name is around. Coach Mills will do an excellent job stepping up. He's a South High guy. He's got a lot of support over there. Weight room has always been the focus over at South. Student athletes, good program.
Mm-hmm. And Highland coming in, it should be an excellent game. That's where we're going to be next week, so please join us. That's all the time we have for tonight. We'd like to thank Shafter High School for letting us come into their program. Coach Ishida Yoshida for joining us tonight, and Kevin Keys. That's all for Friday Night Live. I'm Casey Kieran. He's Kevin Keys. Join us next week.